it's Katelyn from Marathon Handbook, and today I'm going to guide you through how to train for and run a sub 4-hour marathon. I'll include a full explanation of our training plan, which I've linked in the comments below. Our plan has been used by over 10,000 people who have visited the site, and they've had great success. First, we'll go through some prerequisites that I use with all of my runners to make sure that this goal is within reach. Then we'll break down exactly how we're structuring the training plan. We'll go over what kind of runs you'll be doing, why they matter, and how to get through those tough moments that you'll face along the way. Our overall strategy is to get you to be able to run an 8:47 per mile or 5:27 per kilometer pace for the entire 26.2 miles. If you do that, you'll cross the finish line in 3 hours and 50 minutes. That will give you a solid 10-minute buffer for if you slow down along the way or if there are any race day surprises that are unexpected. So everything I'm about to go through is basically reverse engineered to hit that sub 4-hour goal. So how can you tell if you're sub 4 ready? Let's get into it. If you're a new runner or this is your first marathon, as a coach, I would reconsider choosing a time-based goal. I always tell my first-time marathoners, focus on finishing first. That way, there's no pressure, no stress about the clock, and you can just enjoy the experience and get to the finish line strong. Also, before you commit to this plan, make sure that you have enough time. In this training plan, you'll need to run 5 days a week and squeeze in 2 strength training sessions. So be honest about your schedule before diving in. If you've already run a marathon or 2, you probably have a good idea about where your fitness level stands based on your previous races. But before jumping into this plan, let's make sure it's right for you. The best way is to run a 3K or a 5K time trial or use a recent race result. The key to these time trials or races is to make sure that whatever distance you choose to do, you run at your max effort for that distance. That will give us the most accurate result. This test will give you a clear picture to make sure that you're ready to take on the sub 4 marathon plan. If you're able to hit or beat the following times, that means you're probably ready. 3K in 14:25, a 5K in 24:40, a 10K in 51:15, or a half marathon in 1:53:40. If you can't hit these time benchmarks just yet, you may not be ready to take on the sub 4 marathon training plan. But don't worry, that's okay. You might want to aim for a slightly slower time goal or just focus on finishing strong this time around. Even if you can hit these times, let's make sure that we know that it's still going to be a challenge hitting the marathon pace in the training plan. But that's okay. We have 20 full weeks to train and get ready for this race. Another key thing to think about is your current training volume. We'll be kicking off week 1 with 23 miles or 36K. So if you're running significantly less than that now, it's a good idea to gradually build up to that baseline before starting the plan. All right, if you're feeling good with your baseline fitness, with your time available to run, let's get into the details of this plan. Our sub 4-hour marathon training plan is a 20-week macro cycle split into 6 different cycles. Our first cycle is base training. With base training, we'll focus on increasing your weekly mileage and improving your general endurance. Think of this first cycle as laying down the bricks for your marathon mansion. The stronger the foundation, the more solid your race day performance will be. Next up, hill training, a trail runner's dream. They're tough, but they'll make you stronger and faster without the pounding of the track. Our third cycle is interval training. Here, we'll take that speed and power you got from hill training and begin running at paces slightly under race pace for short intervals to get you more accustomed to running faster for longer periods of time. This is the part that I like to call marathon boot camp for your legs. Next, we'll jump into tempo runs. These workouts will include longer bouts of that threshold training. Now, we hit the grand finale, which is the peak. During this cycle, you'll reach your max volume and run your longest long run. And lastly, the taper. Tapering is weird. One moment you're relieved that you're running less, and the next you're worried that you've forgotten how to run altogether. Don't panic. This is just your body recharging for race day. Trust the process. Now I want to explain a little bit about the training methods we're going to use for this plan. Since we're aiming for a specific time goal here, we're going to use 2 different types of training: the rate of perceived exertion and pace training. The rate of perceived exertion is a method based on how you feel. The scale ranges from 1 to 10, 1 being incredibly easy, something that you feel you could hold all day, to 10, which would be an all-out sprint. You can take a look at our RPE chart, which gives a detailed description of each of the intensity levels. I'll also link a great video of ours below where we go way in depth on how to use RPE training. Pace training, on the other hand, is just what it sounds like, training at a specific pace. So we'll use minutes per kilometer or minutes per mile. Pace training is a great way to set a rhythm for your body, and it will ensure that you stay on track for your time goal. In the guidance notes that I've attached to this training plan, you'll find each workout and all of the details that go along with them. Let's go through them quickly. Distance runs. Distance runs are a crucial part of your training. These runs are performed at a comfortable conversation pace, about a 3 to a 4 on the RPE scale. They'll help you gradually increase your volume and improve your aerobic base. Long runs. Long runs also gradually increase your volume, improve your aerobic base as well, but get you ready for race day. Most of your long runs will also be at a nice, easy, comfortable conversational pace at a 3 to 4 on the rate of perceived exertion. However, as we get deeper into the plan, you'll notice that some of the long runs also have race pace intervals involved. I want you to think of each long run as a dress rehearsal for your race. I want you to try out absolutely everything that you would do on race day during all of these long runs. I mean, practice makes perfect. So you want to make sure you wear the shoes you want to wear on race day, you wear the outfit you want to wear on race day, your fueling, hydration, pacing strategies. Everything that matters for the race, we will work on throughout those long runs to make sure that everything goes as well as possible once you get to your marathon. Race pace runs. Race pace runs are just that. It's where we practice our race pace. Think of these as also rehearsals for the big show. If you practice race pace enough, it should feel like second nature by the time the marathon comes. Well, maybe not that easy, but at least your legs will feel like they're a little more on autopilot. Remember, for our sub-4 marathon, we're going to be working at a race pace of 8:47 a mile or 5:27 a kilometer. Recovery runs. Recovery runs are slightly easier on the rate of perceived exertion than distance runs. They're more of a 2 to 3 instead of a 3 to 4. These runs help you recover from harder workouts and also add easy volume to your week. Hill repeats. Hill repeats are a type of speed workout that will increase your speed and power while minimizing impact. You'll run uphill hard for the indicated amount of time, almost at a full-out effort, and then walk or jog easily back down to the starting point. Threshold intervals. Threshold intervals are another type of speed workout, but now on flat ground. These workouts are really tough, but they'll teach you how to lock into a hard pace and hold on for dear life. Your threshold intervals will be run at threshold pace, which for our purposes are 8:17 a mile or 5:06 a kilometer. These workouts will improve not only your speed, but to be able to hold and sustain a harder effort for a longer period of time. Tempo runs. Tempo runs are longer blocks of threshold training. And if you thought you could hold those harder intensities for a longer period of time before, now you have to push for even longer bouts at the same pace. Strides. Strides are short accelerations where you'll begin at an easy pace, gradually increase that intensity until you're running nice and fast, and then again, gradually decrease the intensity until you're back to your easy pace. Each workout will indicate the number of strides you should do throughout the run and their duration. Shakeout run. A shakeout run is a very easy jog, and to be honest, you only have one of them throughout this training plan, which is the day before the marathon. It's basically used just to shake out your legs before the big day, and it should be done at a very, very easy, comfortable intensity level, about a 1 or a 2 on the RPE scale. Now, you'll see that on the calendar part of this plan, the warm-ups and the cool-downs are not included, but that doesn't mean they're not important. They're included in the guidance notes. Warming up and cooling down for any of the speed workouts, like the hill training, the intervals, the tempo runs, is crucial. What you'll see in the guidance notes is that the warm-ups and cool-downs have a different range of mileage or time. Some of us will need to warm up more than others. So go ahead and try out the different distances and see what works for you. The most important thing is that you feel really warmed up for your workouts and you're able to perform at your best. I know that 10 years ago, I was able to run out the door, do a speed workout, not worry about warming up for more than a couple of minutes, and everything would turn out fine. But as time marched on, I realized that I needed to warm up a little longer. So that's why the ranges are there. So you can go ahead and see what your body needs to feel and work and train at your best. The most important thing is that you don't skip them, because they are important to do your best during the workouts, and they also add extra volume to your week. Rest days. Rest days are not an option. They're essential to good training and recovery. These are the days your body recovers, rebuilds, and gets stronger. It's your time to hydrate, refuel, recharge without any strenuous activity. Skipping rest days can lead to burnout or even worse, an injury. So please do yourself a favor and respect your rest days. I'm not saying that you can't go out for a walk with your dog or enjoy some sort of easy activity, but what I mean is just please take a rest from running. Strength training, like rest days, for me, it's not an option. As a coach, I'm a huge advocate for strength training. All of my runners will tell you, and I've been doing it since the day I started running. It plays a huge role in correcting muscle imbalances, making us fitter, stronger, faster, and most importantly, helping us against injury. Aim for 2 strength training sessions per week. I suggest Tuesdays and Thursdays because those are the days that eventually you'll be doing your harder workouts. And so if you do your harder workout and your strength training on the same day, your recovery days and your easy runs will stay recovery runs and easy days. And you're not going to pile on extra stress to your body by doing the strength training on those days. Incorporate compound strength training exercises into these workouts, such as squats, lunges, step-ups, planks, glute bridges, push-ups. All of those sorts of exercises will be great to keep you strong and to get you race ready. Now, if you need ideas for workouts and you need ideas to take to the gym, you can go on the site and we have a ton of ready-made runner-specific strength training workouts that you can use. If you find it easier to go to a group class, if that's what motivates you, I say absolutely go for it. I just want you to be motivated and excited to get to the gym. No matter how you do it, just make sure you do it. Other than running, there are a ton of other components that will help you train for this marathon. Try and get sufficient sleep, eat a healthy, well-rounded diet, and stay hydrated as much as possible. You need to make sure that you are fueled so you can stay strong and train healthy. Marathon training is a journey, and no runner that I know has ever followed their training plan to a T. Things come up, life happens, and sometimes we need to skip a session here or there, but that's okay. Don't panic over it. Some weeks you'll feel invincible, I promise. And other weeks you're gonna wonder, why did I even sign up for this thing? That's completely normal. I know in my current marathon training cycle that I'm going through, right now, there are weeks where I feel like I'm crushing all my workouts. I feel like I'm on top of the world. I'm hitting my marathon pace and feeling great. And other weeks or other training sessions where I'm not even getting close. Sometimes I feel a loss of motivation. I feel a little burnt out. And to me, that happens to everyone and it's really normal. So don't get discouraged by it. One of the most important pieces of advice that I give to all of my runners is to listen to their bodies. You know yourself best. If you've been pushing really hard and feel a little burnt out, you might need to give yourself an unplanned day or 2 off. And if you feel something that's not quite right or you get injured, please don't ignore it. Hit it head on and go see a physical therapist or a doctor to make sure that you can fix whatever's bothering you right away. Remember, the whole objective is to get you to the start line as fit and as healthy as possible. Speaking of that, I'm going to mention the taper again, which is a huge part of getting to the start line ready to go. A lot of runners actually find the taper very difficult. They start feeling antsy or out of sorts as we cut back on mileage and intensity. But the taper is an essential part of marathon prep. It lets your body heal and it banks all of the gains that you've made throughout this entire process. When it comes to tapering, trust the process and don't do anything that might come back to haunt you on race day. And when it comes to race day, there are a bunch of things that we can keep in mind to help you reach your goal. If you can, choose a marathon with optimal conditions. What does that mean? That means a nice flat course and nice cool weather. And on the day of the race, the #1 mistake that new runners, and of course, even very experienced runners make is going out too fast. It's so easy to get swept up in all of the excitement. The atmosphere is electric and you just want to jump off the blocks as fast as you can. But please don't fall for it. Stick to our plan. Trust me, your future self will be so grateful when you get to mile 20. And unfortunately, you're going to see a lot of people who have hit the wall, who may be walking, and you're going to run through that section feeling nice and strong because you stuck to your pace. And the infamous wall, yes, it does exist. But if you follow our pacing plan and you're fueling properly and you're hydrating properly, you won't crash into it. You'll climb right over it. And of course, if you still have gas in the tank for the last few miles, go for it. Push the pace of it in the end if you can. It hasn't happened to me much, but I do know that every time I see the finish line, I don't know where I get the extra energy, but I pull it out of somewhere and I'm able to race to the finish line as fast as I possibly can. Well, maybe I think I'm going fast, but maybe I'm not going as fast as I think I am. But the important thing is that you've got that energy and that excitement to cross the finish line. And there you have it. all of the details of our sub 4-hour marathon training plan. Grab your free copy of the plan in the link below. I'll also share the link of the Training Peaks version of this plan, plus a ton of other resources that I think will be really useful for you. Our marathon handbook database is full of tons of guides about everything we've spoken about today, the different workouts, fueling, race day checklist, hydration, anything you can think of, you'll be able to find it on the site. And remember, if you ever question your life choices during that marathon, just do what I do. Think about the post-marathon celebration and the snacks at the finish line. Now, let's get training.